Hello? Yes? Is it recording? Okay. Good. So, hi. This is Tonney. And before Annie comes out, eventually she will come out, I just wanna to give you my list of changes, suggestions, thought dump, everything that I think would be interesting change for Squigly. So here I am. I have the list that I will also put in the description so you can read it. So let's just start with saying that I don't expect everything to be approved or even considered at all, but I do think that the suggestions that I have would make the character much more versatile, much more fun. We'll at least see more of the move list being used in a match, and some quality of life. I think that she would benefit from. Okay, so we're starting from character select screen because we need 3 characters. We need Squigly, of course.
Ready?
Tally-ho! The assist doesn't really matter. Actually, it does matter because my first change is to the assist moves. So I would suggest that pressing 2 buttons at the same time, instead of giving you dash, Squigly would basically get the charge version in the same way Peacock gets her item drop. So basically, if you just do the normal version, you get the instant item drop by pressing 1 button, but if you press 2 buttons at the same time, yeah, like that, you get the heavy version or the charge version of whatever move that you're using. So basically it would follow the same as it is for Peacock, so you would have Mortis, charged Mortis by selecting cortical forward, light punch, medium punch. Medium would be medium punch, heavy punch, and for Dragon Bite, that was for Sing, by the way. So yes, you would finally be able to use charged Sing as assist without having to call to bring her in, get the charge, use the assist once, and then you would never get the better version of the move anyway. And the Dragon Bite would be like this. That would also be the same for Dragon Punch, which Peacock doesn't have, but you would basically get the light medium version of the move by doing DP motion plus light medium, so she would get the charge. So, and then she would do the move on the second call. So that would be very fun. And also other Squigly players were excited about it, to have the move like that. It would be a mix kind of Robo and Robo Fortune, the way the Hedron salvo works, or like any Hedron special move where you have to get the Hedrons and then you would do the move depending on how many Hedrons the move requires you to do the move. So like 1 or 3 for missiles. So it would be the same as missiles, like you will get the full charge and then do the move. So I don't think that that's like too broken, because it would still cost 2 assist calls to do it, and I still have to see many players pick up missiles or Hedron moves, because it's not something that you can use from the get-go. Okay. So that's my like the most important thing that I would like to see. Oh, sorry. Moving on.
Squigly! Ready?
I need characters.
Back on the beat.
That could be anyone else.
Time to operate.
Okay, let's make it work. So my second change
Pause!
would be about the airthrow, like make it more consistent. So when there is an assist on screen, okay. Wait, let me do it like this. Yeah, like that. So the thing I'm trying to demonstrate is that most of the time, not all the time, but you would get the assist on the way. Not in this case, but like that. You see that most of the time, like the dive kicks in general, especially the slower version, would stop you from getting the follow-up. Okay. So I would make it so that the light dive kick will completely ignore the assistant hit. So air throw into light dive kick will always work on the point character, no matter if there are assists involved. So like that's kind of a bug fix. And the second thing would be removing the minimal height to dive kicks.
Just a moment.
So you would always get the dive kick and not the grounded version of the move when you're on the ground. Like I'm not the greatest at technique, but my point is, my point is basically when you get a very low air throw, yeah, like that. I was way too low for the height restriction, and it's very common for me to get like not the proper height, so removing the minimal height might solve the fix. Okay, and that's for the dive kick. Or sorry, not the dive kick, the air throw in general. It's not specifically about the dive kick. So for the second one, I actually need a parasol and double. From my testing, those are the two much more problematic. Okay, so for the third change, I would give Liver Mortis level 2 frame buffer on normals by like 2-3 frames. Like doesn't need much. So it would be enough so that heavy punch is not a 1-frame link that I actually understand. But yeah, you see,
Just a moment.
on Parasol and is a 1-frame link. On double as well is a 2-frame link, I think, because of hitboxes. Like the hurt box of Parasol and double is way too low to the ground. That also happens on Big Pen. So like it's a mix of the height. Yeah. Parasol was still in block stun it happened all the time, and I timed it like I did before, but I was 1 frame out. You see?
Don't strain yourself.
So instead of making the move like reach all the way toward the ground, which is stupid, and changing frame data, I think that that's like the easiest way to solve to fix this, because it should be like the stable bread and butter that we do all the time. And here I was good. Here I was played, but not by much. So yeah,
Hold it!
don't need any of these anymore. Okay. And also, oh yeah, Dragon Punch on airborne opponents. It's very hard for the thing to drop out. Maybe not on Parasol, but on Light, it's actually very common. If the opponent is like airborne from various angles. Kinda very hard to do. Demonstrate this, like it's not something that happens much in training mode, but in a real match.
You should let.
But you see that it's not that the battle opera may drop from time to time because the opponent recovers in the air. So instead of making this straight up giving knockdown, which is stupid, like I don't think that that's totally required. That's actually not the problem to have it like knockdown. Even though I thought about like making it so by doing knockdown you would always cancel into this. So yeah.
It's too much.
It's very. That would be like the situation where
You've got it.
if you cancel it very late when you're hitting extended hurt boxes, for example. Okay. That was like consistency things that happened in the game. So for the next thing, the next section I wanna talk about are kick charge overall. So this little move. Starting from this, I would make it that you can cancel it. You would be able to super cancel it on block when it makes contact. Not during the startup or during the part where Leviathan returns to Squigly, because that's like stupid. I think that's like the recovery part and it's fine to not be able to special cancel it, but if it's charged, to me you should be able to super cancel it. It would still cost you a charge, it would still cost you a bar. It would be a much more appealing way to approach zoners, because at least you would get like a safe battle opera in without getting Argus, without getting counter supered or even beam from full screen. You would have like an extra option to deal with that. And I do think that this might be too good against the characters where Cord is already good as it is, where you land Cord a lot of the time, but I don't think that Cord as it is right now needs some overhaul, needs something more. Also because in your combo you still use the chord all the time, so you spend
Now,
charge
silver
all the time to convert and do chord into Daisy, so you lose the kick charge unless you build the kick charge. So yeah, that's like that's like a buff. Yeah, I would buff the chord.
Silver cord.
So yeah, the moment it makes contact, it would be like where you throw battle opera, and it's like safe depending on the spacing. Of course, the battle opera can whiff, can't be a true block string if you're doing it like where you're in a range where battle opera will whiff as well, like from here. So you will still need to be in a reasonable range to be able to battle opera your opponent. So here you would get battle opera dead. But like you will be able to super cancel it, making it like a very it would be an expensive way to get pressure while being grounded. Okay. And okay, so next one is uncharged arpeggio serpentine. So I would make so that the final hit, instead of, let me remove bloccare. Okay. I will make, instead of pushing away from the opponent, that like makes it kinda hard, even at ranges where you would think it would reach, but it doesn't. And you have to go for harder links like this. I would make it so that the last hit would pull you in instead of pulling your opponent out. That would make it good for hit confirm, making it an easy way to hit confirm without using your silver cord right away. So yeah, that's a small thing to make it easier and much more consistent. Okay, next up is tremolo. Okay, so this move is kind of bad, to say mediocre. Okay, like as it is right now, it's not like too great because the opponent can maneuver it very well. Like it's not a threat. Having the kick charge is not as threatening as it should be. So my suggestion, that I know it's crazy, but I would make it so you can steer it by holding forward or back after you release the button. So you basically would decide where to spawn the first hit instead of directly in front of the opponent. Okay, you would make it so it would be closer or further away from the opponent, and it would still go toward the opponent, like by pushing it away. So that, I think, being able to manually decide it would make it much more usable in neutral. But yeah, I think that would be interesting. Like the whole thing of the grounded the kick charge is to make it not that's like the secondary charge. Okay, that's like the charge that you also use in a game. Arpeggio is fine, does its thing, which is great. I use arpeggio a lot. I don't see many other use it as much, but the move itself is good. Arpeggio is good, and it does upgrade to like give you OP. Create a very hard situation to deal with for the opponent. So yeah, charged arpeggio is like her best,
Strain yourself.
without a doubt. And but I want like the stance overall to have like something extra. Okay, that would be like the change that would make the character like much more appealing. Like to many. To me, is already appealing as it is, but you can always ask for more, right? Okay. Last thing about kick charge is when you input quarter circle forward, medium kick, heavy kick, and you have the kick charge, you would get 2 heavy dive kick follow-ups. So you would do 2 great kickers. And I just thought like last second, dude, that would be super fun if you could like get 2 grave diggers, and by thinking about how much damage it would change for like her routes and everything, I don't think that would be like too groundbreaking, since her best kick charge move is already arpeggio and it's her combo ender anyway, so much more creativity and making kick charge like a factor mid combo like Dragon Bite is your charged move that you use like on the corner. You use Mortis, and when uncharged I guess you use level 1 Tremolo. That works much better because it recovers faster, but I don't know what else to do with kick charge. Like the punch charge moves are already great. Like Mortis, I see like some debate, like people saying like it's good, it's bad, people use it, people don't use it. I wanna to see like the theme is to get the entire move list being used, okay? Which would be a great goal to achieve. Like it would make the character feel complete. Like everything she has a tool, has a purpose. Okay. And I wouldn't change her normals, by the way, like by much. Like her normals are fine and they do have like a specific thing they do, which is great. So yeah, I think her normals are great. Her normals are okay. So last thing, is about her least used super, the Raging Demon, which is like, people call it a meme super. I actually use it in sets and tournaments and everything. So the first thing would be to make it so that it would still require 1 charge. I think was it Fuzzy Snugs or Yaya who already said it, but I wanna remember it to people. And the other thing I would make, once you taunt, you would get a meter gain increase when doing that kicks. Instead of 0.5, you would get 2.50 like every other special move. So let's see how it would look like. Right now you do 2.5 by whiffing dive kicks, and that like takes so much time, hardly building meter. And whiffing moves, like going through the stance already doesn't build any meter, so there's that. And the meter gain on Squigly is very slow because her projectile isn't like that much useful in neutral because it has very short range. It it requires the charge. So like you would have to work a lot to build meter quickly, to build meter at all. So once you taunt, so you're like you're telling to your opponent, hey, I want to level 5 you. You would get much more chances to get level 5 by whiffing dive kicks, which you will still get anti-air, like punished by doing it. It's not like impossible to deal with. I think like dive kicks are already punishable by land cancelling already, so there's that. Every character can get a punish on a dive kick if you block it in the air. And the time it would take you to build meter by whiffing specials would be spent getting a charge. So yeah, I would still think that that's okay because it would still require the taunt. So yeah, this is my Squigly changes. I hope you like it. The moment I will post it on Twitter, I will get shot from every direction, but I mean, I'm a big man, I'm used to take hits from everywhere, and I know that a lot of the things I said are crazy and everything, but this is why I'm posting it to everyone, so people can leave their comment on what I said, on my thoughts about it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you around, and hopefully Annie will come out soon with a nice balance patch. See ya!